This evening, first on our list is a concerning security breach at the Mazaruni Correctional Facility, where a convicted rapist serving a 15-year sentence made a daring escape earlier today. Stay tuned for further updates on this developing story. In education news, the ongoing teachers' strike for better wages enters its ninth day, with educators standing firm against potential salary cuts. The GTU has taken legal action against the salary deductions and cessation of union dues collections, hoping for a favorable court ruling. A controversial decision by the Ministry of Education has sparked debate as a 6-year-old student was disqualified from the National Children's Match competition. The disqualification stemmed from the child's calypso, which critiqued the government's 6.5% pay increase for public servants, deemed inappropriate by the ministry. In a significant law enforcement operation on the East Coast Demerara, a man was arrested after a search of his residence uncovered ammunition and suspected cannabis. Lastly, in international news, Argentina grapples with the world's highest annual inflation rate, now surpassing 250%. The economic crisis has severely impacted soup kitchens and other charitable organizations, struggling to provide for the needy amid soaring prices and dwindling donations. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for February 15, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, we tell you now that prison officers are on the hunt for a convicted rapist who escaped Mazaruni Correctional Facility. Akim Wong, a convict serving a 15-year sentence for rape, managed to escape from the Mazaruni prison compound earlier today. The escape occurred around 7:20 a.m. At the time, Wong and another inmate, Gilbert Gill, were laboring in the wood bush in the custody of prison officer Torres. While on duty, Wong requested to ease his bowels, to which the officer Torres granted him permission. However, about 5 minutes later, Officer Torres decided to check on Wong but discovered him missing. He subsequently raised an alarm. Law enforcement officials have widened the search perimeters around the general area. Headline News will bring you more details as they become available. Continuing our coverage of the ongoing teachers' industrial action, the teachers on strike for better wages expressed determination, asserting that potential salary cuts would not deter them from advocating for their rights. Led by the Ghana Teachers Union, educators continue their protests for higher salaries and better working conditions, marking the 9th day of their nationwide effort. Despite assurance from Vice President Bart Jagdeo against victimization, the government proceeded to deduct money from their salaries for strike days. Unfazed by the cuts, teachers pledged to persevere, expressing their resourcefulness in finding alternative means to make up for lost income, including home-based businesses. They emphasized their resolve to continue until the government agrees to negotiations, citing financial struggles and mounting debts. GTU filed a court case challenging the salary deductions and halt on the union dues deductions, expressing optimism about a favorable outcome. They highlighted past instances where strike actions didn't result in salary deductions, questioning the government's current stance. On a different note, a 6-year-old student from Fort Ordonance Primary School in Berbice has been disqualified from the National Children's Match competition for performing a calypso, criticizing the government's 6.5% pay increase for public servants. The Ministry of Education deemed the song, "Tell Me How I Go Survive with 6.5" as inappropriate for the child's age and in breach of competition rules. The 6-year-old disqualification sparked controversy, with the Ghana Teachers Union accusing the government of vindictiveness. The ministry defended its decision, emphasizing the importance of maintaining age-appropriate content in competitions. The GTU criticized the government's action, questioning the sudden enforcement of rules and asserting the children's rights to express opinions on national issues. The Allied Arts Unit of the Ministry of Education emphasized that decisions made are based on established rules that have been in place for many years, specifically focusing on the appropriateness of items in relation to age groups. The unit said 2 items were rejected. Stick around when we return. SBM Offshore Guyana launches Guyana Monaco Mousetrap Car Grand Prix for secondary schools. and 27-year-old construction worker arrested on the East Coast Demerara on drug and bribery charges.
Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's my birthday. Yeah, celebrate 1770 with us. Yeah. It's our 17th anniversary, and we're celebrating in style by giving away $17 million in 17 days. Top up with $1,000 or more for a chance to be one of 17 lucky winners of $1 million. Don't miss your chance. Top up today. Digicel, 17 years of bringing you the best. Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's our birthday.
Good girl, forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. Jamal Anthony Hazel, a 27-year-old construction worker, was apprehended at his residence in Hope, East Coast Demerara during a targeted operation conducted by the law enforcement officials on Wednesday. A search of the premises led to the discovery of a one-strap bag containing 8 12-gauge shotgun cartridges, 4 live 38 ammunition rounds, 8 small transparent containers, and 1 bulky transparent plastic bag filled with leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis. Hazel was told of the offenses and cautioned, after which he attempted to bribe the police officers, offering some $350,000 to resolve the situation. He was arrested and escorted to the Cove and John police station, where the suspected cannabis was weighed and amounted to 42 grams. Hazel remains in custody awaiting further investigation. Additionally, Hazel was being sought by the CID headquarters Major Crime Investigations Unit for multiple charges, including murder and armed robbery. In other news, SBM Offshore Guyana is hosting the Guyana-Monaco Mousetrap Car Grand Prix for secondary schools in Guyana. Students are challenged to build a model race car using a mousetrap and physics principles. Winners get a chance to compete internationally in Monaco. Categories include acceleration, endurance, and innovation creativity. SBM Offshore emphasizes the importance of education and empowering young minds. Interested students can register online. Winners receive cash prizes for their school science department and may qualify for the international competition in Monaco, sponsored by SBM Offshore Guyana. Last year's winner, Rafael Persad, attended the Monaco Grand Prix and other exciting events. Students are encouraged to register. Don't go away after the break. One dead, others injured in shooting during Kansas City Super Bowl parade and Indonesia elections. Parabowo Savianto declares victory.
Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's our 17th anniversary and we are celebrating with up to 40% discount on handsets. Get the Samsung A05 for just $16,000 or go for the Samsung A15 for just $29,000 or the Samsung A245 for just $35,000. But wait, there's more. You also get 1 month free data plan with any handset purchase. Limited time offer. Hurry to a Digicel store today. 17 years of bringing you the best. 1770 with us.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Argentina's annual inflation rate has soared above 250% according to new government data. It's the world's highest despite monthly inflation dipping in January. With the rising cost of goods, soup kitchens rely on donations and are feeling the squeeze. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
Children start arriving at this community center for lunch early in the morning, even though it won't be served till midday. All the food served here comes from donations.
I know what it's like to go to bed hungry, so now that I'm on my feet, I volunteer here. It feels good to help and to see someone with a plate of food smile.
But the meals being served are not enough to meet the growing demand in this neighborhood, where the number of people seeking food assistance is doubling every week.
4 months ago, they only served children here. Now it's entire families that have to come here for a plate of food. And because of Argentina's soaring inflation, donors can't afford to give as much as they used to, which means the soup kitchen often has nothing to give. And that means that many of the people here have to go for a full day with nothing to eat.
The latest overall inflation figure for last month was 20.6%. Soup kitchen director Santiago Figueroa says food prices were the most critical.
We used to pay 80 cents for a kilo of rice. Now it's triple, more than $3.
But others see the latest inflation figure as a glass half full.
What matters is the tendency. Inflation is down 5% compared to December, and while February may not be an improvement, by April it's expected to drop 8%. And that's because the government is not printing any more money to finance the fiscal deficit.
It's a textbook belt-tightening measure that's hitting the middle income and poor families the hardest.
I am an unemployed teacher. If I don't come to this soup kitchen, I don't eat.
My pension isn't enough to put food on the table.
The lucky ones who came early got a plateful. But for many others, this huge pot wasn't enough. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Internationally, a parade in the United States to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory has been interrupted by gunfire, with local police declaring one person killed out of a total of 22 injured. Al Jazeera's John Hendren reports.
Your Kansas City Chiefs!
It began as a celebration for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
Man, what a year! To battle through the adversity, to continue to go for that championship.
But at the end of a parade, as Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, tight end Travis Kelce, and other players mingled with as many as 1 million fans, shots rang out.
All of a sudden, people started crushing forward. Everybody started running. There was screaming. We didn't know what was happening, but this day and age, when people run, you run. And so I put my arms around her, and we tried to push through so people wouldn't run on top of us.
Gunmen were taken into custody, one of them apparently tackled by bystanders, as shown in this fan social media video. A spokesperson for the Kansas City Chiefs says all staff, coaches, and players are accounted for. The quarterback of that team, Patrick Mahomes, says he's praying for Kansas City. Police scrambled toward the sound of gunfire.
This tragedy occurred even in the presence of uniformed law enforcement officers who again ran towards them and took them into custody.
The city's mayor says more Americans joined a group of which no one wants to become a member, victims of gun violence.
I wish we live in a world where we wouldn't have to see incidents like that. But I'm as heartbroken as anybody. We will do a full and thorough investigation. I hope that we bring whoever this is to justice.
As investigators sifted through the scene, police looked for clues as to what turned yet another celebration in America into a mass shooting. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Chicago.
Finally, Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto has promised to be a president for all Indonesians after unofficial election results indicate he has a significant lead. Al Jazeera's Jessica Washington reports.
After weeks of campaigning for Prabowo Subianto and his running mate Gibran Rakabuming Raka, it's now time to party.
We will be the president, the vice president, and the government for all Indonesian people.
The official count could take up to a month, but all signs point to a decisive victory for Prabowo and Gibran.
Supporters of Prabowo Subianto and Gibran Rakabuming Raka are already in celebration mode. While opinion polls had shown for weeks that they were the frontrunners, there were doubts about whether they would be able to secure an outright victory in the first round.
But according to the quick count, the pair appear to be faring even better than expected. Prabowo ran for president in 2014 and 2019 and lost to Gibran's father, President Joko Widodo. But this election was different.
This time he has something he didn't have before, which is an all but explicit endorsement from President Joko Widodo.
Jokowi, as he is called, is in the final months of his presidency. He still has high approval ratings, but couldn't run again due to a constitutional term limit. Some civil society groups and academics have accused the president of meddling and favouring the Prabowo-Gibran campaign. Other presidential candidates have also raised concerns during the campaign season.
We have experienced difficulties in organizing our campaign due to unnecessary something that we never experienced in the past as a country.
But those criticisms did not resonate with many of Jokowi's supporters. Since 2019, 72-year-old Prabowo has served as defense minister, working closely with Joko Widodo and transforming his image from the president's rival to a close ally. Earlier this week, in an exclusive interview with Al Jazeera, Prabowo summarized his vision for Indonesia.
My policy is a very rational, logical, common sense approach that is actually building up on all the work of our predecessors.
Now he is the closest he has ever been to Indonesia's top job, a role he has wanted for years. Jessica Washington, Al Jazeera, Jakarta.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 30 weather forecast. And that's Safety V2 headline news for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.